So my son took the college courses for the right reasons. He has every intention to still apply to MIT. His intentions was Mr. Mongia has been wonderful in helping us figure out what classes he needs to be accepted in a competitive school such as MIT. And so it was very important to him to make sure that he took BC Calculus by senior. So, and so his class at IBC, everybody thinks it was 20 classes, but his class at IBC was pre-calculus, so that he was able to go ahead and take calculus this year. So, my son is also in agreement with this because he wants to see all his classmates to be on an equal standing and be able to be honored for being Brawley in high school. And I have more if you keep talking. If it's going in the direction I think it's going, I'm not moving it.
Well, let's do this. Is there any other comment? I mean, do the Steinwell back there, they've got to have something here to say, right?
I'm Paul Steinwell, parent. And I also applaud you for going this way with the policy. I think it's an excellent move on the school district's part. As Mrs. Wood said, the prior policy was very difficult to navigate. I mean, Mr. McGee was very helpful every time he came in, but if you didn't ask the right questions, you had no idea where you were going. So this really simplifies things, and it makes it more equitable to most students. As she said, costs are a huge factor, and now that top 20 is automatically, accepted into the UC system, a lot of students, this could be their only shot for college, being in that top 20, or one of their biggest shots for college. So, to allow IBC courses or college courses could exclude those students and push them out of the top 20. So I think, to make it equitable for all students, I think it's an excellent policy. So we're in support of it 100%. There are other things within that calculation, though, and I've talked to Mr. Canales about it, we've talked to Mr. Canales about it, within the system itself, and you have to be in the system to understand it completely. We only understand it from our perspective. So I mean, your administrators are the experts. But for example, what happened to our son, if you're participating in a varsity sport that requires a sixth grade PE class, then you have to take that sixth grade PE class to be in the varsity sport. Now that's not true for all varsity sports. And if you take that sixth grade class, then you're excluded from taking an AP class. So that can, by participating in high school activities and supporting your school, you can have a negative effect as far as your possibility of taking AP courses and becoming valedictorian and salutatorian. So I really think, and we talked to Mr. Canales about this, I think that there needs to be some tweaking on that also, because you shouldn't punish students who are supporting your school and becoming, and doing activities for the school. And this could be, and that's just not sports. I mean, it could be band or whatever activities you're offering. They shouldn't be punished from a student who either is an athlete who doesn't have a sixth grade class, or is not an athlete at all, or doesn't participate in athletic activities, and is allowed to take another AP course in place of that. So there are landmines through that policy, and I think making it equitable for all students is an excellent idea. I mean, just make it so it's an even playing field and there's no penalties depending on what you're doing and what you're choosing to do at school. And I think the policy needs to be refined. I think that is an excellent step. We've talked to Mr. Canales. Of course, like I said, we don't know your system and we're not experts at it. But possibly if you limit the number of AP courses a student could choose so that you're not being penalized for participating in a sport or a band, or allow that course in PE or band to become an accelerated, an honors course, because obviously you're at a level above what the average student's doing. Maybe having that being considered, maybe in that way you're not going to be at a deficit by not taking another AP course. At least your GPA won't be penalized. But the experts have to figure it out. You guys know your system better than we do. But there shouldn't be a penalty anywhere within the system for someone participating in high school activities, school-sponsored activities. But as far as the courses at Brawley High School, I think it's excellent. We support it 100%.
Okay. Anything else to offer, Julie?
No, I feel wholeheartedly agree, and we were very fortunate because what happened was we also didn't even know what was going on. I was from the old school. When I came in, our child was, here as our first I thought it was still like when we went to school. It was just what you had at school. And we happened to stumble like his sophomore year talking to a mother saying, did he sign up for online courses his sophomore year, which were honors courses. We knew nothing about it. We didn't have it, on his schedule. It wasn't, and we got the day before the deadline. So he fortunately got to take the online courses his sophomore year. And then all of a sudden, then it kind of evolved into his junior year. People saying, well, aren't you aware that people are taking classes fees? Well, what are you talking about? Well, we understand if you want to do that towards college, but we didn't know that was towards their placement at the high school level. So I went to, he and, one of Kate were the ones that were, and I spoke to the mother. I said, we found out that he had to now take his fine arts class, and because of that with the sports, it was going to penalize him unless he took an IBC class for his fine arts, summer of his junior year. So I went to Cindy and I said, look, we're not trying to pull something on you. We believe it should be done with the school. He's never taken any summer courses towards, his high school credit. But he's going to have to take this in order to free him up so he's able to, it doesn't penalize him in taking an AP class his senior year, which was really nice. We didn't have any really, she agreed to, and we didn't have any, we were very fortunate. We didn't want it. I said, I don't want it to get nasty stuff. I think it should be an even playing field. And we said at that point we were going to go ahead and address and see what the policy was. And so it wasn't for us either until really his junior year that we realized that they were accepting these outside courses. So I'm so glad that everybody's receptive to looking at it because we too felt real strongly about that. I shared with Mr. Canales that I went to school with a gal that was from a family of 13, and she was the brightest in her class, and she would not have had that chance to go to IBC to take classes. And it would have been a shame if she would have been our valedictorian. And same thing with a fellow that ended up going to be the doctor now, who's a year behind me. And he too would have never been able to go forward. He went to go to Harvard, Joe Marmontes, and ended up he's a doctor now. And he wouldn't have had that chance. And what's fair is fair, I just say give everybody that fair chance and then let them, like Paul said, let the cards fall as they may, and whoever finishes on top, fine, and so be it. But I'm really glad that that it's being looked at because that's basically all I can ask for. And I also want to thank Mr. Martinez. His class, his class, his was the 180 class that Josh I think got a 5 in out of the 80 classes he's taken, and he totally respects, Josh will Mr. Martinez up on this pedestal and tell you what our Tyler's jumping into the book already because he knows that reputation will have him, next year. So we are fortunate to have some really fine teachers here at the school. So
Victor paid off and he's ready for the sport. Tony, what about the issue of the sports PE? I guess all my daughters never had to do that in their sport, but maybe they weren't in the right sport, I guess.
Yeah.
I can imagine which one it is.
Yes. Officially, you don't have to have sports PE to play varsity sport.
Okay.
Unofficially, in some sports, if you don't have sports PE, you don't get a fair national test. You don't.
The chances are playing are
Yes.
just put it at that.
And Mr. Munguia was so extremely helpful with as far as doing his schedule because Josh ended up picking up an extra class. He took 7 classes instead of 6 the first semester of his senior year in order to be able to pull the football off, his sport off. So, and in the football, I don't want to that football. I mean, that helped immensely with him for, when he went in and as far as getting awards and honors and stuff towards his college, transcript. So, you've got to have both. They're looking for a well-rounded kid. So there's got to be a way to try to balance it, with everybody. But, I really can't thank Mr. Munguia enough because, without his helping, he's so privy in as far as courses that need to be done and the courses that the colleges are looking at that, it wouldn't have happened without his assistance. So we're real grateful for his help.
If you talk to the administration, they want to get rid of sport PE right now. But that's what I'm saying. Sport PE. Yeah, that's true.
Academic. I
Yeah.
mean, I believe in the well-rounded person, definitely. But why? Why can't we have that discussion on what are the positives and what are the
What is it
negatives?
supposed to be?
Yeah, I think it's probably worth further discussion as well.
What I could put it on that next agenda and allow coaches to come and give you their perspective of it.
That would be great.
Administrators, teachers.